Good morning, my fellow brethrens, my soldiers on the battlefield. uh, Big Child Walk coming at you. It's 4:16 in the morning, Mountain Standard Time, sitting in Colorado Springs right now. Laying in bed trying to sleep, couldn't sleep. Been dealing with insomnia for 7, 8 years now. And some days is good and some days it's bad, and I just deal with them as I can. For those that don't know me, that haven't chimed in before, Charles Walk, pretty much a long-term dialysis patient. Um, got diagnosed with end-stage renal disease back in 2008. I had a heart attack and stroke. Doesn't look like it, thank God. There are some aspects of that still are affecting me today, but it's neither here or there. Back in 2008, I was doing a contract out in California, living my life, the dream I always had to be a software developer doing big things. I was working for the LA County. I got a big contract just out of nowhere. No, really didn't. I guess yeah, I could say I got it because one of the requirements with getting this contract was you had to submit a prototype application along with your resume, so that they can look at the type of code you write and make a judgment off of that along with your resume. So I thought it made sense, so I did it. Come to find out, I was the only person that submitted for that position that did that. I mean, I didn't do anything complicated. I just spun up a web app. I made something simple. I don't know if it was like a to do or something like that, but something simple. It wasn't anything complex. It took me days. It took me literally an hour. I spun it up and just came up with my own little creation so I could show some aspects of my coding ability. That's basically what I thought it was about. So that's what I did it for. I got the job, and then my director told me, he said, "I'm just amazed you were the only person that followed the spec." And I was like, "Huh?" I was like, "Follow the spec? What you mean?" You talking, military talk, and I'm thinking, the spec? What you mean? And he's just like, "The requirements call for this, and this, and you were the only person that fulfilled all of them." And I was like, "Really?" Lord blesses you in different ways. I just was special in that aspect for some reason. And I got the job. So, I was thankful for it. But it was short lived because I had a medical condition that popped up. I was at work and my vision started going blurry and I couldn't understand it. I thought something, was wrong with my, eyes. I went through some water in my eyes. Whew, boy, that was an experience. It was one I never went through before. So it was like my vision was going and I didn't know why. And I was like, I got to get to the hospital. So I ended up calling my uncle, had my uncle come. These are stories I'm just telling you guys because there's certain things I just have never shared with some people. So only family pretty much knows. But I went through a lot of traumatic experiences that got me to this point. And at the same time, I was married during the time. My wife was very supportive. Um, almost to the point of possessive because she loved me so much, and I really appreciated it. Um, but things happen. I didn't know what to really think about it. It was all overnight, literally. I went into the hospital one day trying to figure out what's going on. They lay me down on a gurney, talking to me, telling me what they about to do, and I'm like, cool. My blood pressure was high. Didn't realize that. So I get there, my blood pressure is like out the roof. So they trying to bring my blood pressure down. So while they're bringing my blood pressure down, I had a heart attack. So it puts me in the hospital for about a week before I realized I was even in the hospital. I'll just put it that way. I wake up a week later with all these tubes hanging out my body, wondering what the hell, how, huh? I mean, I'm just confused. You know, you wake up, you go to sleep, and you cool. You wake up and you ain't got your clothes on no more. You got your hospital gear on. You're like, whoa, who done changed my what the And I'm like trying to remember, did I get out my clothes for a reason? What's going? Why am I in the bed? I'm trying to remember all this. I ain't remember none. None of this made sense. It was like I felt like I was being kidnapped. To be honest with you, from a brother man who's ex-military. I did some things in the military I wasn't so proud of, but at the same time, I don't think I did anything that called for somebody trying to come and get me. But I don't know. You never know. So I'm like, whoa, what's going on? I'm trying to get questions answered. The nurses is like, well, it's okay, Mr. Walker. I'm like, no, it ain't. What y'all going on? And before I know it, my wife comes around the dang, around the curtains, and she was like, "Why are you giving them nurses a hard time?" And I look up, I'm like, "What you doing here?" Because she's supposed to be in Colorado. I'm in California, And I told her, I remember telling her on the phone, "Just say everything's all good. Don't worry about it. I'll call you and let you know what's going on." Apparently, unbeknownst to me, when a lot of stuff went on, and she got called. Oh man, but boy, she was a heaven sent though. I mean, be honest with you. I mean, I don't hate my wife. There's a lot of things we went through during the ends of our marriage that I just wasn't happy with, and I took it a lot of it personal. But I had to come to a Jesus moment the other day in my meditation. Where the Lord just brought to my attention. How much love are you really showing when you show the love you're showing? And I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't being very I was being MGTOW. I was being straight red pill. I don't care what you feel. I don't care about your thoughts. That's your opinion. That's good. I'm happy for you. That's kind of the attitude I had. I mean, I was trying to divorce myself that far away from my feelings, because I was just like, I don't care. I'm not wanting to be in my feelings. She kept on wanting to bring up the past. And I was like, who gives a flying fuck? To be honest with you, I'm like, you trying to rehash shit in the past? Like, I don't care. Oh, I did that. Cool. That's kind of how I felt. I was like, so what? That shit's in the past. I'm trying to move on. Why you fucking with me? That's how I felt. That's just my attitude at the moment. I mean, not now. I mean, at the moment, that's how I felt. I was just like, just leave me alone. I don't want to be bothered. You trying to bother me. I'm leaving you alone, but you need me. And yes, she does. I mean, and I realize that the only reason I extended my hands because, unfortunately, women will never say it, but they need us, even though they don't need us, but that's all good. I understand my place, my place in society. I understand it. But at the same time, I'm trying to get out of it. So I had to come to a Jesus moment and realize, I'm trying to salvage the unsalvageable. My divorce is inevitable. It's guaranteed, but at the same time, I was trying to, I guess, salvage stuff. I mean, I worked hard 20 years of my career to acquire all of. I had to really be honest when I started looking around. I mean, it's just stuff. It really wasn't really stuff for me per se. I mean, a lot of stuff was really a joint venture, but it was more on the satisfying of her for the most part, because I mean, she has to be in the house, so I want to make sure everything is adequate for her. So I mean, I had expenses that I shouldn't have spent, just to make sure she was good. I wanted my family taken care of, and I didn't want any issues at the household because I was out trying to make money. I was trying to make my career. It was blossoming. And then when this disease hit me, it took me by. Woo, man, by storm, for real. It like rolled up on my brother, and I'm like, whoa, it's like vertigo for a minute. I'm like, whoa, hold on, why are we moving here? But I'm telling you, brothers, illness is not easy, but boy, when you got somebody besides you having to go through it, it wears on them too. And I had to realize that, just me, just just touching with my spiritual side and just realizing, the things that another person has to go through when you're having to go through things, especially with an illness. But at the same time, I've always been in church, so I'm divorce just wasn't me, man. It just wasn't me. I'm like, you want to divorce me? You divorce me, so I ain't going to hell, but I had to come to that realization that trying to hold on because of your spiritual beliefs is not going to solve the problem. That the other individual don't have the same spiritual beliefs, so y'all unequally yoked anyway. And I had to be honest with myself. We were kind of unevenly yoked in the beginning. I just lusted after her in the beginning, and then I just fell in love with her. And some I'll never do again. You learn from your mistakes, but at the same time, you look back in retrospect and you say, okay, can't do that again. Why did I do that? Why did I make that choice? Why did I decide to go that extra mile? I mean, men, all y'all know it. Most women don't realize it, but we go the extra mile for women. We'll break our backs sometimes just to get him that extra something something, that little, we'll see somebody cute and then we up here trying to holler at them just to say, hey, you look good, and then see if they holler back. And if they holler back, you got a conversation, and then you might have something popping off. But I hadn't had to do that in 20 years. Being married to one woman for 20 years, I ain't never tried to holler. I had women try to holler at me, and I was pretty much confident in what I had at the house. It just maybe that was the simp programming I was under, but I was just like loyal. I was like a dog. It's just like going back to my master. Went back to the plantation, man. I mean, I was off the plantation, and boy, the grass was looking greener. But I was like, no, man. I done heard these stories. I done seen these stories. How you be having friends and people around you that you see them going through things, and boy, you realize it's like, oh no, I don't want that. I don't want that heaped up on me. That's why I stayed loyal. I mean, there was women around me all the time. I mean, I worked with women, and I'm just like, I wasn't affected by it because that wasn't my mission. I wasn't out to get no booty, So for me, I'm just at work making money happen, and then I had to go back home, and then I got the wife talking about you cheating, and I'm like, huh? What? What? Wait a minute. And I'm a rational brother, just like almost all of us brothers are. I'm thinking, wait a minute. I go to work for 8 to 10 hours. I come straight home. At what time during that 8 to 10 hours did I get some booty? Oh, I wasn't at work. So why is my check show that I worked that day? So this is me just going through this common sense, and that's just how I'm relaying it to her. And all of a sudden, this mansplaining. And why am I trying to, you know, why am I so defensive? I'm like, huh? So from a rational point, you like, why am I defensive? Because you accusing me of shit that ain't right. That's why, you know. And it just, I just wanted peace, So I didn't fight it. You pick your battles, So that's what my mind was. It's like, man, that ain't even worth fighting. I just let that one go. I'm like, number one, I knew what I wasn't doing. That's the good thing. It's like when you know what you're not doing and somebody accuses you of something, you kind of take offense to it, especially if they're somebody close. Somebody out in the street, I can give less than a damn about what you got to say about me. You don't know me, but when you sit there in the cut with me and you know me and then you still making these accusations, it's kind of like, are they for me or against me? And then you trying to show love, you trying to be responsive, and you keep on getting this. I mean, and it's a slow process. That's why I tried to explain to this one brother the other day. I was like, it wasn't something that has happened overnight. I said, women just grind at you. Just like they on this little, on this bike or something, just grinding at you. I'll wear them down eventually. And then you can't really explain it because it happened over time. You can't put your finger on one thing. It's like it's a lot of things. It might have been something small. Like you come home from work, had a horrendous day, and all of a sudden she blowing up about how something changed the color of her clothes when she washed them. And yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I looked at it like, oh, okay, well, just get another one. And she looked at it like, what? You ain't even care, and it's like, oh man, all this drama starts coming up. That's just an example. That's the only thing I can really remember right now. But I just be like, it's just these little small things, I love her to death, man. And then she was want to throw in my face, just like it was a slap in the face with like a wet towel. And I know some of y'all know how that feel back in the day in the locker room. Man, it was like painful. Like, you don't love me. I'm like, I don't love, huh? What? It was like French. And I was just like, wait a minute. Anybody explain to me we was changing languages around here? But anyway, I was trying to make this short, so I'm gonna keep it short. But I finally came to, the realization that divorce is inevitable, and fighting it is just a losing battle, holding on to your spiritual beliefs, and I mean, I pray that, God don't strike me down for any of this, he knows my heart, that's the way I feel, I didn't intend for any of this stuff to happen. I mean, stuff happens, man. And I look at it like this, it was a good time, it was a party. It's just like, when you go to the club and you sleep with somebody, it's just like, hey, it was a good time, cool, peace, love, and air grease. Why you trying to look for a relationship? We had a good time, leave it at that. That's how I look at it now, we got a good time. 18 years of being married to one woman is dedication. I've never been dedicated to something that long. I was dedicated in the military, but I wasn't in there that long, So this is the longest thing I've been dedicated to. And I can honestly say I don't regret it. But at the same time, the approach I would have changed. I would change my approach big time. And probably and it wouldn't have been married, because that's just the attitude, the mindset that I have now. If I was able to go back, there have been a lot of changes. I mean, we probably would have never gotten married because I was a super simp. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I was simped out. But yeah, I mean, I was trying to please. I mean, I raised her up on this pedestal, and I proclaimed it, to the Lord, and I apologize, because I didn't realize, that anybody mess with my wife, it was going down. I don't care if you was Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm gonna make sure you feel me. But yeah, man, I learned a lot from that. I don't even deal with women no more from a relationship standpoint. I just look at it as, I'm straight red pill. I'll be nice to you. I'll treat you with respect. Don't go over the boundaries and we cool, and my boundaries is don't try to push nothing on me because I ain't trying to push nothing on you, and most people trying to push something on you. Oh, you gotta believe this way. You gotta be involved in social media. You gotta be no, I ain't gotta do none of that. I gotta do what makes me happy. That's what it's about now. I mean, I thought I was doing things that were making both me and the wife happy, but neither one of us was happy. I was trying to, increase my value in the career field so that I can improve my numbers in the asset column. But that's kind of hard to battle when your job requires so much of you and your wife requires so much of you, and you got to make that compromise, man. And that compromise is a booger because I got put into positions where I was like the lead, developer. The lead developer is like the manager almost. It's like I got to be there all the time, and that don't really resonate very well with the ex. The ex was talking about, you just treat your job like it's more important than me. I mean, I had to really look at it and say, yeah, sure in the hell did, because it really did. I mean, if I didn't have that job and I wouldn't, applying myself the way I was, I wouldn't have been where I was. And then at the same time, we wouldn't have the money that we had to take care of the things that she wanted to take care of, And, it wasn't about the money. Like she always said, she could be happy with nothing, But now I look at it and I'm like, well, that all was good. That was like a fairy tale, one of those. Let's get the white picket fence and and the White House, But that's a dream, man. That's man. We ain't in prairie. We what was that? Well, I can't remember the movie anymore. House on the Prairie. Yeah, House on the Prairie. This ain't no House on the Prairie, man. This stuff don't work no more. Marriage ain't the same, man. You got all these faketries trying to perpetrate like they really in the marriage. Everybody's religiously going to church, and oh, my husband this, but they sleeping with Joe over here, and husband just don't know it yet. And you look at this and it's like hypocrisy, man. It's straight hypocrisy. So I just take it as real, and I just like not that it's like I don't want to trust nobody. It's just I'm not trusting nobody with my heart no more, but God. Period. It's the only one that I'm trusting with my heart. Everybody else fail you, man. Not to say that she set out to fail me, but that it's a failed relationship, plain and simple. Both of us was hurt, so both of us have to live with that. And I'm pretty much good now. I got my mind set together, so I don't have to trample down that road. I just don't think about things like that no more. I add good stuff onto it. I do things that cover up all them bad memories that I don't have to worry about thinking about no more because I got all the good memories. Times when I just want to go out and just take a walk in Estes Park by myself, I can do this. I want to go and jump out of plane, I can do this. I want to go bungee jump, I can do this. I could do whatever I want to do, when I want to do, how I want to do. And I don't have to ask nobody or I don't even have to tell nobody. That's the thing. It's like I did that for 20 years. I let my wife know where I was at all times. I was simpish, man. I look at all the simp mode and I'm like, that's cool, but not for me. It really ain't cool for no man, because really when you look at it, it's just like you're supposed to be the king that you you paying homage to everybody but yourself. And really when you look at your work, then you start treating yourself that way. Then everybody start calling you selfish. And I can look at it like this. I'm not selfish. Like my kids. It's like, Daddy, money ain't everything. I said, yeah, y'all let y'all bills be due and you need money. Who you coming to? And Daddy, you just gotta whatever. Whatever. I tell my kids, whatever, I love them, but I put it to you like this way. I done learned, I done had, I already got 20 years above them on some experience and they trying to tell me, they ain't never done no business. I start a business and they trying to tell me how you know it's gonna work. Where you gonna make money? They try questioning me. They ain't never did nothing like I'm doing, but they trying to tell me what I'm doing ain't right. Or I'm not doing it right. I'm not thinking it right. And I'm just like, well, everybody's entitled to their opinions. But until somebody can prove to me the right way to do it, I'm gonna do it my way. And as far as I'm concerned, like I tell everybody, I gotta pay the ultimate price. In the end, ain't nobody paying my bills, ain't nobody taking care of me, ain't nobody doing nothing for me. You know, my wife did stuff for me for 18 years. That's it. Yeah, we've married. We've been married 20 years now because I ain't got the divorce yet. But that's semantics. I look at it like that. My mindset is it's semantics. Yes, we're still married by paper, but there's no marriage. Well, marriage is more than just paper, in my opinion. But since we done moved to the point where now it's all just about paper, I look at it just like that. Yes, it's just about paper. So when it's all said and done, I had to really look at it and say, I'm trying to hold on to stuff and I can't really get anything new because as I acquire new stuff, it becomes it becomes a viable asset for her also in a marriage. Ah, so what I'm trying to do is improve myself and strive for greater things, which I'm blessed. I have the ability to do that. I can move fast. I have the gift. I come up with ideas and I can move on them. I just I just always have. I've had that ability. And sometimes I get stagnant because I don't know what I need to do or where I need to go. I'm kind of like, well, like when give you an example, when I got this disease, I mean, I didn't know where I was going to go. They tell me I can't work no more. So I'm like, whoa, I can't work no more. I'm trying to justify why they saying this. I can't work no more. I mean, I'm physically, I'm able. I don't feel good half the time. I'm sick, throwing up, and I'm tired all the time, sluggish. I'm tired. I'm literally tired all the time. I walk around, I'm tired. I go to the gym, I'm tired. I work out with my trainer, I'm tired. I just do it because I want to stay alive, because I know if I don't, I'm going to be like three of the people just this year from April to now. Three people have died in the dialysis chair since I've been there. And then you got to worry about thinking about that every day. I don't think about it. It's not like I think about it, but I got to go in there every other day. Every other day, I have to go in there. Like in about 45 minutes, my alarm will go off, and that'll be waking me up to get prepared to go to dialysis. I got to put this cream on my arm, which is this area with they have this graft in my arm. And what they end up doing is every time I go in, they stick I think it's like about it's almost 3/4 of an inch worth of a needle in my arm every time. And that needle is a 15 to 17-inch gauge. And if you don't know what the size of that is, look it up on the internet. I'm telling you, you're gonna be blown away. It ain't like a regular needle when you go in to get your blood drawn. I mean, I laugh at those needles now. They go, okay, I got a pokey. I'm like, yeah, okay. I mean, it's not a poke anymore. I mean, it's like, okay, they stuck me. Okay, they're done. I'm like, okay. But they stick me with them needles in this arm. My brothers, 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 my brothers. You might call me a punk, maybe even to my face. Whew. But you sit down in that motherfucking chair and let them stick you with them needles. Mm. Who's the punk now? Woo, boy, they stick you with them needles and you have to come up out your chair because you like, what the hell just went down? And I don't have my knife with me. And bro, I got my knife. I'll be always having my knives, but I don't carry them with me everywhere. Before when they stuck me that first time, man, it was a quick reflex to my pocket, but my pocket was empty. I'm messing. I wasn't gonna stab nobody, but boy, they made me want to punch them. But boy, when they stuck me, I was like, oh, what the? And this is after they put this cream on you. The cream don't work very well, right? Okay. So they apply some other stuff they call this spray. It's a cold spray. So when they spray you, it kind of like freezes your arm area. So that was semi-productive. You just imagine getting sprayed with something cold to where it freezes your arm, and that right there hurts. And then they stick you with that big ass needle, and then they got to dig around to make. Okay, a lot of y'all don't know, but I have these devices in my arm. They're called either a fistula or a graft. I have a fistula graft, the combination. I started with a fistula, it blew. I got a story for you on that one too in future days. I tell y'all that, boy. Y'all be like, whoa, I need to hear more. I'll tell y'all about that in the future. But I almost died from that one. But I had a fistula in my arm. It formed a fit. It formed what they call an aneurysm, which is basically a bubble on your damn arm. And that's from being stuck in a location. And they usually they infiltrate you in those areas sometimes, and that weakens your cells. So I learned all this only afterwards, but because the individual that was sticking me, which I know exactly who it was, because they used to stick me a certain way, and I'd be like, I used to question like, why you keep sticking me there? That's really what I asked, because I'm like, that's painful, man. I'm like, what? And she did it different than everybody else. So I had to question. I'm like, why? Give me some, feedback. And she tells me, and I'm like, I said, well, I don't know why you can't just stick me in the middle of the tube. I mean, and literally the tube Dudes, telling you, man, the tube was thick enough where you could stick the needle right down the middle. You got that much space, you could stick it right down the middle. She on the side. Why the hell you on the side? Number one, the tube is here. You on the side trying to stick me in the skin, and the tube's over here now. And you sticking me in the skin on the side, and then trying to dig in to find the tube, causing me extreme pain. And so I'm trying to tell this wench, well, what you doing? And she's like, oh, I'm trying to find, whoa, why are you over there? I mean, you even had one time I even had her take the damn thing out. I was like, take that shit out of my arm. She said, but I'll have to restick you. I said, well, you restick me, but stick me in a place where it ain't gonna cause me this type of pain. It's like she didn't understand. It was like French to her, like, whoa, well, Mr. Walk, I'm doing you the best way I can, and you just complaining like a bitch. Oh, really, bitch? Anyway, that was an experience, man. But at the same time, that's your livelihood, man. They don't understand that. When you sit in these chairs, they're messing with your livelihood. That's why 3 people died this year. They mess with your livelihood because these things are temporary contraptions in which they use as a means to administer dialysis to you. But the only way for them to administer this is they have to continually infiltrate your skin to administer the treatment, which means whoever the individual technician is that's administering it to you, different almost every time, you have to trust that they know what the hell they're doing and they've been through the training, so they should, and that they won't infiltrate you or cause you any medical complications. That's what you got to live with every day. Like this morning, I got to go in there and deal with that with whoever's going to. I don't even know who's going to be there today because they rotate people so much. This is with DaVita, by the way, and they rotate people so much. So I don't know what technician I'm having. I may have the same people that I always have, or I might have somebody I've never seen. Then I have to trust that this person that I've never seen is really a DaVita person that knows what the hell they know. And then they like, they introduce themselves to you. This is usually what they do when they know they haven't been with you before, which is I appreciate it, but it still doesn't make me much more confident. But now it lets me know, okay, they've done this for some time, so I should be good. Trust, my brothers. Every other day, man. And it wears on you, man. And then you gotta go through this divorce stuff, and you like, you know, you think that I'm having a heyday over here, having just partying and trying to party, but I mean, bro, guys, if I showed you guys the bills that come in my mail, hmm, I don't never want to be here again. Never. I got $70,000 worth of credit card debt that I have to eat. That I have to eat. I tried my best to formulate a plan to, I mean, it was a high sedity plan too, I mean, from a lot of people's standpoint, because they were like, man, you ain't no way you're gonna pay no $70,000 off. I don't care how hard you work. And I'm like, y'all don't know me, nobody knows what the hell I can do. I said, number one, I know, matter of fact, yeah, they do. My employers knew what I could do. That's why they kept me. That's why they held on to me. That's why they went the extra mile and paid me extra money just to keep me. I was that good at what I did. My craft, I was just good at it, and I made sure the client was satisfied with what they paying for, and so my whole thing was, well, I don't really want to go and work for nobody no more because I know my skill sets, but now I got to go out and acquire customers. Well, the one thing I didn't like about that when I was in the corporate world is customers don't really know what they want, and half of them want to debate it for eons before they make a decision. So now I'm having to sit here discussing a potential project that may not be a project. So basically, I'm still dependent on them making a decision to pay me some money, And so I'm like, I want them to have more control because then I'm beholden to them because they got some crazy hours they want me in there for, and most of the time they want me on the physical location. I can work remotely and still be very, very, I've done it, and it's never been an issue. But for some reason, it's like they want to see you in the office, like, ooh, he's more productive here. My numbers showed that I was more productive at home because when you're in the office, they want to have meeting after meeting. Your phone calls off. Oh, you got to answer the phone. Why? What do they want? Who's calling me? Why don't send me an email? I'm like, I don't have time to talk. I'm a software developer. I don't have time to sit on the phone and discuss with you some potential. Let's try a different pattern. I am software developer. I'm not at the architectural level right now, so you deal with that with an architect. I'm a software developer. I'm here and getting paid to get stuff done, and my job is to deliver. And that's how my attitude was. A lot of them didn't like that, but I didn't care because at the end of the day, I had to pay the price. Tell people that. If you ain't paying the price, you shouldn't have nothing to say to me. I mean, come on. Why you gotta have something? It's just like you have some type of you being affected by something I'm doing, and you got something to say when there's nothing that I do that affects you. We don't even have to work in the same place. We don't have to deal with one another, but you still want to come into my space. So that means apparently something is attracting you to me. I'm not seeking you out. I love working with people. I'll work with folks. And I'll seek you out if I need some knowledge. But if you ain't willing to give it, I ain't coming to you anyway. I'm gonna go somewhere else. There's knowledge to be found all over the place, and I'm not gonna be beholden to somebody's, pride and their ego. Stay in your pride and ego. I love your pride and ego. That's what keep you confident. Ride that road. That's what I'm talking about. You get in some hurts. Just don't be swinging over here. I'm sorry. I'm just not. I don't have love like that no more. This is a dog eat dog world right now. You got to get in and get yours. Nobody wants to share. Nobody wants to do nothing. Everybody wants to get, take. And I'm always trying to give. I even offered uh, portions of my business to a friend that I met. I don't even know him completely, but somebody that I met that I trusted enough to say, I think, and this is just my loyalty thing. I'm like, well, in order to keep somebody loyal, you got to give them something. Money is cool, but you got to give them value. So I was like, well, we was gonna split the profits down the middle, but I said, well, in order to have somebody in here so I can be free because I'm the CEO, I gotta be free to do stuff. I can't be locked into any one thing. I said, well, let's just give him all the business. Let him make that money. Let him make that cheddar. I'm gonna make my cheddar in the end. I just trust that I do, and I mean that's how I walk. A lot of people were like, man, how you gonna make money? I said, I got plans for that, man. I mean, people don't look at the long term. I work for long term, planners like Janice. You don't try to make money like overnight and you be rich. It's a long term period. You put your money in and you invest for the long haul, and the money will come. And see, I try to tell people, I used to chase the money. I mean, I would be working in Florida, I'd be working in New York, I'd be in Chicago, I'd be in California, be in Texas. I was going wherever the money was, because it was good money. They paid me good. Man, I worked places where they paid me 60, 80, $100 an hour, and I was a contractor, and I would go in and do the job, you know. And I even had potential to even get paid more if I worked in New York, but I just like I couldn't do it. The cost of living in New York just do not justify. And I mean, yeah, you can go get paid two, three, $400,000 in New York, but you're looking at 5,000, sometimes $10,000 to live there. Are you serious? Not me. I mean, I'm not a Trump. I mean, I don't just throw money around and waste it. I mean, not anymore for sure. But I look at it as money is valuable, and if you look at it, $4,000, $5,000 for a penthouse is not a problem. You more power to you. But I run into people all the time. I'll be trying to motivate people to do stuff because I have this gift that, well, when I was in the military, it pretty much is when I first noticed it. I kind of noticed it when I was in high school, but when I reflected back, I really thought about it and said, yeah, this is how I was doing in high school. But I would always be able to tell what people's main skill sets. Just to give you an example, when I was in high school, I was on a basketball team, and I was pretty good. I wasn't great. I wasn't no Michael Jordan, but I had my skills that certain areas I was really good at. I was good at pretty much handling the ball. I couldn't shoot also great all the time. But I can make my layups and I can guard the hell out of Kobe Bryant. That's how good I was. So I was good with my D because I learned from my old man, and my old man was military. And he was about defense. He said he's old school. He was like defense, defense, defense. And that's what made me, that was really my success in basketball. But one of the things that I always faced when I came to basketball was you always had, that time when you got to pick players. And I'll be like, I'll be a captain, somebody else be a captain, and I always like to be a captain because I get to choose my players, and I would always choose crazy players and let the good players go. And people be like, you let so and so go to what's up? I'll be like, yeah, I got this. And they never understood it, and then I would get these defective brothers together, I guess you could say, and I'd be like, well, I know he can make layups guaranteed. I know if I get him in this position, he can always shoot. I know ain't nobody gonna ever steal the ball from him, because he's good with the ball. So I would always know what these guys is good at. So I would be like, I play the center and I wasn't the tallest guy, but I knew that I could play the center better than them because I knew the my father used to work with us on that. We were supposed to always play the post position like the strongest player on the team. That's how he coached us. But anyway, I would play the center and I would have this big tall guy over me, and I would didn't care. They were like, hey, y'all be laughing like, oh man, he's just gonna get demolished. And I'll picture like, okay, his size ain't everything, and that's what I had to learn from my old man. He did instill that into me. So what ends up happening is, I'm playing and I'm having all these guys playing and I get the ball down on low and I'm doing the juggy and I'm getting around them, and I'm flipping it up and doing all my little, whatever I need to do to get to the hole. I knew how to get there, and I knew how to play the body, you know, to the point where I make you foul me. That's how good I was. So it wasn't a problem. And then at the same time, if I got into a position where I knew there's no way I was gonna get that ball up, I had this peripheral where I would be able to know where my players were at so that I could dish it. So if I knew old boy was where I needed him to be, which I always told him, I said, just always stay in this area and just keep moving. I always tell everybody, don't stand still, keep moving. But you don't have to be running all over. Just go over here, move over here, go over there. Just keep the person that's guarding you busy keeping their eye on you so they're not keeping their eye on me. Because most of the time if they know you're still there and you're just standing there, they can be watching what's going on. And that's kind of how I used to learn. So I tried to instill that in other people. So as we plan and then I'm dishing it off and these guys are making baskets. And so we ended up busting that ass, And so I did the same thing when I worked with developers. I was a lead developer. That's why I ended up becoming a lead developer because my executives saw that ability in me to tell talent. So and direct talent and people I guess people respected me, so they would always look up to me and come to me for questions and all. I just grew into that type of person, and I was a kind of a go getter. So just like somebody come to me with a problem, like, hey, let's go sit down and work on it. We do some pair programming and we work it out. And I didn't mind doing that. I was like, that's what programmers do. You stomped on a program, on an issue, and then we come together and put our minds together and try to figure out a formulate an issue. I mean, a solution to this issue, And so I would do that all the time, and not a lot of developers do that. It's just like, oh man, just go work on it and figure it out, and then they go off doing their own thing. I just like, at first you come to me, man, I've been working on this for about an hour, man, and I'm stumped, and I tried this, and I tried that. And I was like, oh really? Okay, well, come on, let's do it. And I don't care if I was in the middle of something unless it was something serious. I'd be like, I'm putting it down and I'm going over here and working with my developers, with a lead developer. So, I just I miss it, and I look at a lot of aspects of that. So, when I look at doing my own thing, I say, well, I'll just start my own business. I'd rather start my own business and succeed or fail at that than go back to work and fail at that again. Because every time I went back to work, knowing that I had these kidney issues, it was only a matter of time before I ended up having to quit working again because my medical condition got worse and worse. Because with that comes a lot of stress, and you're always running. I spent more hours. I mean, I had no sleep. I told you I've been suffering from insomnia for 8 years. So whew, I was just running more. So when you wore out like that, it's just like you can't do it no more. So now I'm trying to have control of my time with the internet. You can do that. There's so many internet things you can do. So what I decided to do was build a website, since that's what I used to do for my career. I built a website dedicated to artists to give them an opportunity to get their art seen and get it out there. And it was semi-successful. I'll just put it that way. I successfully put out my first application ever that I wrote for myself. I mean, I wrote so many applications for many companies, and we put them out into production eons and eons ago. But I've never done nothing myself and completed it. So this was a success for me. But nobody's using it right now because there's so many reasons. But um, SEO is one of them. Everybody keeps telling me SEO, SEO. It's like, you guys is, I mean, I get a little attitude sometimes. I'm sorry, but I do. I mean, like, I'm not ignorant. I know it's SEO, but unless you're giving it to me free, shut up. Nobody's giving nothing free, but everybody's smiling. No, you need this, you need that, you need. Yeah, I know what the hell I need, but I don't have money for that. So as far as I'm concerned, until somebody's shilling out some money around here, I can't afford that. I got to learn it. I mean, I'm a software developer. I got to learn everything. So I got to do the UI. I got to do the back end. I mean, I had to write the whole entire interface, and I didn't have a problem with that. I've done that. I've wrote everything from, I mean, it's SQL Server. I did all the scripts and everything myself. Very, very experienced with doing that. Just hate doing it. It's good to have a DBA so they can do that part of the job so I can focus on what I love doing, programming. But that's not the case. So I had to take care of that aspect. I used NAD framework to help offset some of that so that I wouldn't have to worry about having a DBA to handle some of the intricate aspects of things. I just used NAD framework. Unfortunately, it didn't perform very well, so I had to overwrite certain things in order to put in, Dapper in order to get down to the lower level so that I can get some faster queries and that the website can be like instantaneous, because 2 and 3 second queries just really come on. Microsoft, really come on. I mean, I don't need to tell you that. I mean, why would you even put anything out that would take 3 seconds? But at the same time, they always put it on something you're doing wrong. Well, if I'm using Entity Framework the way you have it out the package, and I'm doing normal database relationships, there's nothing horrendous that I'm doing here. But the performance is still 3 seconds to get a query. Yeah, I understand you got to build the object model and all that and everything there. I do the same thing in Dapper, and it still takes me less than 1 second. I build the same entity in that in Dapper.net versus doing an entity. Takes 3 seconds here. It takes less than a second here. Yes, I had to do a lot of extra work to get this query and build all the objects and everything, but I'm still doing all of that one time, and I'm doing it in less than a second. This over here, good for updates. Entity framework is good for updates. Still slow, but good for updates because then you don't have to manage that. You just bring it in, say, give me that user, update the user properties, save, done. I can still do the same thing in Dapper. I just have to break it down and say everything that's coming in. Now I got to break it down and say, okay, we're gonna have to update this table, and this entity has to update this table, and this entity has to update. So I have to do all that manually when Entity Framework takes care of all that. But at the same time, Entity Framework's not bad. It's just not very performant, depending on how you're coding your interface or coding your your business objects in the database. So for me, I had to get quicker speed. So I rewrote a couple of just basically the getters. Anything that's getting data, I want it to be as fast as possible. Everything else is saving, take your time, no worry. They go to save a form, 2 seconds is okay. Not really, but took a sec. I'll improve that as time goes on. But it's all depending on whether it's even worth it. I'm going down this road. I don't even know if artists really, I've heard some negative aspects of what I'm doing from artists that have kind of like driven me crazy. I've even heard it from some of my family members, but some of them feel like I'm taking advantage of it. And I'm like, I had the question when I first was told this. I'm like, well, how am I taking advantage of you guys? I'm not asking for any royalties from your artwork. I'm not asking for any monies from your artwork. I mean, if I'm not asking for nothing from you, how am I taking advantage of you? And then they're telling me stuff like, the kind of stuff that I'm trying to do is depreciating their art. And I'm like, huh? And so I have to listen to them because they're artists. So I listen, and I try to take their input. And I'm thinking, I don't feel the same way, but to each their own. Feel how you want to feel. I'm gonna make the service, the platform available, and if people want to use it, cool. Because not every artist thinks that way. I've had artists tell me, "Man, I've been waiting for something like this," but the thing is, I'm not getting anybody using it. I post on the forums all the time. I'm advertising. I'm telling people about it. I give people business cards, but phone's not ringing. The website. So I mean, I'm just like, well, I did what I set out to do. So anyway, I didn't really make this all about that. I really was trying to make this to help you brothers. Try to, you have to really look at it. This is the piece that I really wanted you to get from this. All this crap I've been talking about, but you have to really analyze and say, you know, facing divorce is a terrible thing, but it's an inevitable thing. It gives you peace of mind. Yes, you got to go through the horror of having to worry about paying out funds that you really can't really afford. You're trying to get your life back together. Now you got to worry about paying money for somebody who's no longer a part of your life anymore. And I just, I mean, my belief system has changed radically, and you know, I'm not simp anymore. I don't have that belief system like, oh, well, I got to take care of you for the rest of my life. Our relationship's over. Go your separate way. I'm gonna go on my separate way. And I know there's some hard, decisions to be made and some hard feelings that are going to be hurt. But unfortunately, a relationship is meant to last only so long, and then when it's over, either I was going to be dead or you was going to be dead, and we're going to be going our separate ways. Just unfortunately, we're going our separate ways, and each other one of us is going to be dead to each other based off of divorce. So you got to do what you got to do, and it's going to be tough, man. Telling you, you feel. I mean, you feel it in your heart. You start having reminiscing these thoughts. And the thing that helped me is just I just didn't want to think about it no more. Every time I had that thought or had some people that were around me that wanted to mention it, I separated myself from folks. A lot of people are like, "Oh, are you trying to be sauce? What was the in solitude?" It's like, well, I mean, number one, if you ain't saying the right stuff I need to hear during the storm that I'm going through, I don't want to be hearing it. So I'm gonna separate myself from and then people are like, well, that's not good. Maybe you need to go see a psychiatrist. Like, so you'd rather me go sit in a room and talk to somebody else about my issues instead of me go home and just chill and deal with my issues my way. Kiss my ass, period. That's the way I feel about it. I mean, get all these people around me. Oh, you need, my daughter, I got my oldest daughter, she's a psych major. So I get it from her all the time. Daddy, it's not gonna hurt you to go get some psychiatric okay. Let me put it to you this way. Where were we at? Where were we men at before psychiatrists? We was in a room smoking a stogie and drinking a drink and talking to men, picking up our knuckles and swinging against men sometimes, dealing with our problems. That's how we men deal with shit. Fuck this shit about sitting in there. Oh, I need to talk about my emotions, my feelings. Oh man. Man, I'm telling you, man, I've been in church so long. It's all I hear in church is feelings, feelings, feelings. Everybody's about feelings, feelings. That's how they pump you up to be a simp. Have you run around here in your feelings, so you don't really want to say what you really feel. But everybody's into their feelings, and I don't really care about feelings no more. I separate myself from feelings. I'm like, feelings, that holds you back. You can't handle business with feelings. You got to also remember, man, you can't make money with feelings. Women can make money with feelings. That's why we got all these simpy movies out here. But I ain't into making simpy movies. I'm into yeah, what I love doing is I write software. I love people. I love dealing with people. So I try to go and pump people up and motivate them to do beyond what they're doing. I mean, I used to try to help these ladies out. This is what's so sad, man. You see these ladies with all this potential. My ex-wife, she got potential. I was still trying to help her because I saw what she could do, but she didn't want to do nothing. All these ladies don't want to do nothing. They don't want to do nothing. They say they want to do something, and they want to do the stuff that's glorious, so it brings them some self-esteem and brings them some identity. People who praising them and stuff, whatever. But when I see at the end of the day, these ladies complain about their jobs they're working, the things they're doing, and I'm trying to tell them you could do this, you're good at this. I help you with this, and they're just like, no, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. It's like, so I got to the point where I don't even want to hear no more. I don't want to hear nothing about your personal stuff no more, girls. Don't tell me about it. I don't want to know. Don't care to know. I'm a solution guy. That's how I was with my wife. Got to the same way with her. She used to come to me, sorry, come to me with issues, and I'd be like, let's address this, let's handle it. She's like, not everything is supposed to be fixed. I just wanted to have somebody to talk to about it. I'm like, okay. And me being a rational man. You don't want me to help you solve it, but you want to talk about it just so you can vent about it? Okay. I mean, I used to try to entertain that with enjoyment and be like, oh, okay, this is going somewhere. It never really went nowhere. I mean, I'm a man of action, man. You come to me, you got some issues going on at work, and I'm like, okay, let's solve this. Are you trying to stay at this job? Okay, then we got to do something to improve the job. Did you talk to your upper echelon? Chain of command. You try to do resolutions like that. That's me. Let's try to fix this. The same thing when I found out I was in deep in the debt up to my eyeballs. $70,000. I'm like, holy smokes, that's like, I mean, it didn't happen overnight, brothers. Don't get me wrong, it didn't happen overnight. But when you come to realization, it feels like it happened overnight because it's a shock and awe. Like, whoa, how did we get here? And then you're trying to formulate a strategy to get up out of this, and then your spouse is like, I'm done. Huh? You done? What you mean you done? Let's just write this off and let's do a bankruptcy. And I'm thinking, huh? What? Wait a minute. Hmm. But I had to accept it. That somebody's gonna give me $70,000 to pay that debt off, which I have the thing about it, I got not family members, I got people in my network that would gladly give me money to pay my debt off. One of which is a MGTOW. And he told me straight up, I would never pay your debt off knowing that your wife would benefit from it. That was deep. That was real deep. He valued me enough to be willing to pay off all my debt, but not at the expense of my wife benefiting from it. I said on my previous video, certain things that I choose to do that a lot of people don't agree with. A lot of people don't understand why I do what I do. And I walk the walk with the Lord, and I chose a different path. Chose. I said it. Chose. We all have a choice in life, and I try to tell people this all the time. You choose what you want to do, and you live by that. If I choose to come over here and slap a dude, I gotta live with that decision. I mean, he gonna bust my ass up. I gotta live with it. It's choices. So I choose to do what I do because I do it out of love. One thing I did learn out of when I was in church is that, sometimes in order to derive kindness from those that hate you, you got to treat them with kindness. And I have a lot of animosity built up. My ex-wife brought that to my attention the other day because she said you sound bitter. You're very bitter. Yeah. When somebody tells you you're bitter, you're like, I ain't bitter. I ain't bitter. I just want to be left the fuck alone. That's kind of how I was saying. And then I had to really sit back and think about it. I was like, damn, I'm kind of getting bitter. And then she compared me to my old man. He kind of went through the same thing, went through a divorce with my mom and all that good stuff. I mean, I'm just, and that's the other thing that was kind of holding me from doing this divorce because I was just like, I'm not trying to repeat what my dad did. I was trying to, I believed in trying to, what's the right thing is, I can't even say the words right now, but I was trying to stop that. It's been something that's been happening in my family for eons. My dad, my dad's dad. I got a couple of uncles. So everybody's been doing. Everybody, and my brothers. None of my brothers are married anymore. I mean, one of my brothers never did get married. I'm happy for him. And one brother, got married and divorced. I'm getting married. I got married and I'm getting ready to get divorced. My dad got married and got a divorce. It's just one after another, and marriage just ain't the same no more. It's too much. Your heart's on your sleeve, and it's easier for somebody to cut you, and I don't live that way no more. I put my heart back up in my carcass the way it's supposed to be. As far as I'm concerned, I ain't sharing shit feeling wise with no woman. I ain't got time for that. I got a couple people trying to get me out to some things. I'm like, I'm going to have fun, but relationships, I'm coming to drink and eat some good food. I hit some coochie, but at the end of the day, you going home, I'm going home. Period. And hopefully you ain't got no period because you ain't getting none. Period. Mm. I'm tripping, guys. I'm tripping. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off. I am up here dragging on, but telling you, man, you gotta come to grips with your divorce. It's a hard thing. It was hard for me. It's still hard just to think about it sometimes. But I'm like, well, in order to get beyond this hard time of my life, I got to get beyond this time of my life, and I can't do it being married. He wants to do the friendly divorce thing, so we get in the paperwork and we gonna, put on there what we want, and what we willing to give up, and I pretty much I had already decided. I told her in the beginning, I said, you can have everything. I don't want a damn thing. And that's kind of how I feel, man. I just do. I don't, all this shit's memories, man. And I built this with her. I mean, I'm trying to build my own shit now, and it's gonna be just built by me, and I'm gonna die, and my kids can have whatever's left, but I'm ain't gonna have no money because I'm spending it. I used to have that thought about, leaving money behind for my kids, but for what, man? All they're gonna do is buy, oh man, I'm going out to buy this boat and that car and blah blah. And I could just buy that for them now, bump that. I'm using the money to help make me happy. And I'm really literally looking at moving down to Texas because I like the heat, because I mean, Colorado's nice, but the cold is just, I don't have nothing here no more anyway. My mom did. I got brothers here, but we don't really deal. So I go my own way, they go their own way. I love them to death. I die for them still, but we still living our own lives. And I can't stop my life for nobody. Period. I got to continue on, and I got a mission. I got things I want to accomplish before I die on this earth. And a lot of people be like, well, you gotta. It's a lot more things important to you. I'm at the end stages of my life. End stage renal disease. Look that up. End stage renal disease is in your kidneys. You ain't no coming back. You done. I'm just surviving when I do dialysis. Going to dialysis gives me another a couple of days. Gives me another couple of days. If I don't go to dialysis for a week, I'll be dead in a week. Hmm. I'll be dead in a week. Y'all gonna hear this here first. I ain't gonna lie to you. I done thought about it. Week ain't a long time. Yeah, they be calling me like crazy. But I live by myself, homie. I ain't gotta answer a phone. Nobody come to my house. But I love life too much. I'm just messing, guys. But anyway, that's how easy it would be to just call it a day, and they'd probably be like, you know, when I tell my kids, this has been a hard week I'm going through, oh daddy, you just need to hang on and I'm like, yeah, thank you for the encouragement. I really appreciate it. But it's just a hard day, not that I'm giving up and it's over. I'm just letting you know it was a hard day. They come at me like, you need to go get some help. I'm like, you think me going to get some help? See, this is the thing that people don't understand. This is what's so idiotic to me. And this is just me from coming from common sense. Okay. You want me to go get help for somebody to strategize to help me prolong putting up with the shit I got to put up with. You heard it. That's what I said. You want me to go talk to somebody to help me learn how to deal with a problem longer. So if I'm getting, it's just like being incarcerated, and you a POW, and somebody's electrocuting you all day. They want you to go see a psychiatrist to help you formulate a mindset to put up with that. Mm. Yeah, I laugh at it, and that's how I laugh at it. I'd be like, people just don't realize what they say. They say stuff not realizing they're not in your shoes, but what they're saying is supposed to be meant to encourage you to keep on pushing. It's not that I'm not trying to keep on pushing. It's the simple fact that this shit is hard and it's a battle every day. And that's why I have That's why I do these videos to talk to brothers so that I can stay encouraged, and try to keep brothers encouraged because it's a battle. But I'm encouraged. I stay strong. I stand strong. I believe I can endure and prolong. But every day is a challenge. I'm not saying that every day is a piece of cake. Every day is a challenge. I gotta get ready to put this cream on here in a moment because I gotta at least have it on about an hour before I go in there in order to mitigate some of the pain. And then they spray me with the spray also so that they can mitigate the spray. So I mean, I'm getting everything to help tamper tamper down on that pain a little bit. But it's still pain. I deal with internal pain. I be throwing up all the time. I just be feeling nauseous sometimes. I can't eat. This infuriates me to the fullest. Food. I can't even eat food the same anymore. It's so torturous just for food. I tell men this all the time. You don't know how much appreciation you should have for your food until you can't appreciate food. I can't eat food like I used to. I can't go some of the places I used to. My palate is messed up. That's what happens when you're on dialysis. Stuff don't taste the same. Certain things make you sick again. I mean, it's just food. Like I'm sitting here now thinking about what I'm eating for lunch. I'm thinking ultimate buffet, but my stomach probably won't tolerate that today. I just, I just know from past experiences. Some days I can go and eat a salad and throw it all up. Some days I can go eat ultimate buffet and throw it all up. And it just doesn't make rational sense to me to throw it all up and waste money. So, I mean, if I go, I have to be feeling tip top and I got to have some money to, I mean, it's only cost me, $11. It cost me $8 for the meal and it cost me $2 if I get a soda. And most time I'll get water. I'm trying to cut down. So I'll leave out of there under $10 for all you can eat buffet and this good Chinese food. Hmm, hmm. I'm there. But sometimes I can't be there. I'll go in there and I can only eat one plate. It's a waste to me. I need at least two or three. But anyway, yeah, and I mean it's still cheaper than going a lot of places because I mean I'm only paying less than put $10. I can go over to Village Inn and get me a salad and a lemonade and pay $11 for a salad. Anyway, or I can just I can go get me a burger, and you can hit all these burger joints up, get you a $5 special, go to Taco Bell, but that stuff tear your guts up. But anyway, I'm sorry, brother. I just got off to another tangent, man. But anyway, you guys have issues, man. Feel free to, send me an email, drop a message. I'll respond back. It's all about, each one teach one. I'm gonna help you teach you some things you may not know, and you can help teach me some things I don't know. And hopefully we can help motivate each other to keep on keeping on. Because really, that's what this is all about: keeping on. Because nah, not all of our lives are perfect. We're all going through battles. And whatever those battles may be, we need encouragement. We need somebody to stand by us. And unfortunately, I just think this is the venue in which we can get that. So anyway, y'all take care of yourselves. Accept the inevitable. Ain't much stuff you can do about it. Let divorce be divorce. Do what you can to salvage as much as you can, and then make that separation, and then go your own way. Men going their own way. That's what this is about. That's what I've been like trying to do. I'm going my own way. I don't want to have to deal with women. I want to do me, but I got to let go of this. I got to get rid of this divorce, and whatever the judge says needs to be done. I'll have to honor that for as long as I have to honor that, and then do me. And chalk it up as an experience and say, why the hell would you do it again? Peace out, y'all. Y'all take care.